Nearly 200 years ago, along the banks of the Wabash, Mother Theodore founded a ministry that would change Terre Haute and the world.
She grew up in France, always wanted to be a sister. Her mother did not want her to be because of some tragedies in the family. She lost 2 brothers through fire. Her father was murdered on his way home from the Navy, so she really had to take care of the family. And so finally, when Saint Guerin was 23, her mom said, you know, I just know you're still interested in becoming a sister, so I'm going to let you go. Do what you need to do. Do what is your passion.
Joining the Sisters of Providence, Mother Theodore pursued a teaching ministry. In 1839, the king honored her as the best teacher in all of France. Shortly after, her superior, Mother Mary, asked Theodore to start a new ministry in a new world, Vincennes, Indiana.
She knew that her own health was a factor that would jeopardize the whole mission. So Mother Mary said, well, that's okay. If you don't go, we won't go. That's how much faith she had in her. She knew the mission would fail without her. But she did then end up, through the vow of obedience, saying, well, if it's going to fail because I'm not going, then I will reconsider. And who can I take with me? So she took 5 other sisters, all foundresses. We call them all brave women who came.
In July of 1840, Mother Theodore and her companion sisters set out on an arduous 3-month journey across land and sea, arriving at St. Mary of the Woods on October 22nd, where they immediately set to task.
When she arrived, there were 250,000 school-age children in Indiana. Of those 250,000, 50,000 of them had a school to go to. Anywhere in Indiana you went, the need was tremendous. So she opened up the college 9 months after she arrived here, July 4th, 1841, and it's the oldest Catholic women's liberal arts college in the country.
The women faced tremendous adversities, including illness, exposure, and even arson, spurred by local anti-Catholic sentiment. By 1843, they had lost everything. But with support from France, Theodore began to rebuild, determined that the ministry succeed.
What got her out of bed every day was the mission. Her love for the sisters, her love for the mission of opening up schools, the love for the children, as well as her working with the sick poor. Cholera was very, very prevalent in those times. Lots of kids had lost their parents, so she built an orphanage for girls. And she opened up an orphanage for the boys. She found the way, she found the means. She didn't know the word no. Her avenue of help was from the business leaders of Terre Haute. She would cross over the river, go into town daily, and she dispelled their fears one by one by one through her relationship with them. Faith to her was bigger than any one religion. She would interact with all kinds of faith traditions here. She would interact with all kinds of people here that were anti what she was doing, whether it was opening up the schools or the orphanages. All of them, in the end, helped her succeed.
By the time of Mother Theodore's death in 1856, the Sisters of Providence led over a dozen schools, spanning from Evansville to Fort Wayne. For the next 50 years, the sisters continued to open high schools and colleges across the country in her name. In 1909, after a miracle healing of one of the sisters, Rome opened a case for Mother Theodore's canonization, a case that would remain open for nearly 100 years.
We thought, should we stop? Should we start? Should we continue this? We know she's a saint. We know that. Why do we need to continue? It's costing us a lot of money. It's costing us a lot of time. And we had to be convinced. And we kept being convinced by the people who were not sisters, who loved her. Said, do it for us. Do it for the world. The world needs to know she's a saint.
And in 2001, she proved it to the community of Terre Haute once again, healing one of the congregation's caretakers. 5 years later, Mother Theodore was officially recognized as a saint by Pope Benedict XVI, and the sisters began working on the creation of her permanent shrine.
We wanted it to be a teaching place. We wanted it to be a place of ministry, that people would learn from this. We're celebrating our 175th this year. We want to shout that from the mountaintops. Her spirit and her legacy are still alive and well, not only in the Sisters of Providence, but in all the people that have been touched by all the Sisters of Providence. So it's journey with a saint, not of a saint. Journey of a saint is, oh, well, here's her story. Let's learn about this woman of the past. Journey with a saint is, I'm going to walk with this woman right now. I'm going to learn about her life so she can touch me, witness her, and be inspired by her and her life. Tap into their own personal resources like she did and live their life to the fullest. That's what a saint is.